So we are approaching not just this song, but this record. It reminds me of the quote from Duke Ellington when he would say that as he was songwriting, that usually the third idea that he would happen upon was usually the best idea.
So for this episode of Harmonized Sound, we have with us in studio at Old Bear Studios, Weston Skaggs from Ohio. And he's working on a song called Glory to Your Name. And it was a pretty cool project to be a part of. But this song in particular is a very simple song. Doesn't have a whole lot of pizzazz to it, I guess you could say. But that's kind of the best songs, are the ones where you can just strip down to an acoustic guitar and still be engaged with them. But because it was so simple, we sort of had to think a little bit outside of the box to kind of figure out how do we layer this song without it becoming overwhelming.
We tried to take an unconventional approach, so we had a natural arrangement already come to mind, but this arrangement kind of came with a little bit more digging than just would happen naturally. And so, I had bought a xylophone going into this record, and I'm always on the hunt for interesting new instruments that I can find that are obscure or haven't been used in 20 years.
The song is about creation. It's about how everything around us speaks to the fact that there's a creator, and it speaks to who God is. The language in verse 2 talks about how no canyons deep or caverns wide can ever separate us from the love of God, and that's a common theme on the album.
So I found the xylophone, and it seemed appropriate for this song to try some looping ideas with the xylophone by playing single notes and then kind of stacking them on top of each other.
All right, so just give me like a simple line first, and then I'll work with it from there. So, just give me like a dun, ding kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, give me one more time.
When we came to trying to flesh that out and map it out sonically, Chris, as producer, had some great ideas for that xylophone loop that you hear at the beginning and throughout the song.
That'll work.
And our engineer Brian did a great job of mapping that out and splicing that together really seamlessly with this great old xylophone that we have here.
That'll work. Yep.
Chris had been talking about these different dulcimer sounds on these older records in the 70s, and so we just said, well, why don't we try to do that on the piano with some drumsticks.
I really love New Age records from the 70s. I think it's funny because New Age music kind of started in the 70s, but they were kind of developing the sound. Well, there was guys that were playing auto harps a lot of the times with these little sticks. And so, the piano basically is a massive dulcimer of the strings. So you open it up and you start.
Right.
I think we started playing it with a guitar pick, but it kind of had too much of a clunky sound, and the engineer Brian, who's been helping us on this record, grabbed some sticks, and we started kind of letting the sticks kind of naturally find a rhythm on the piano strings. Not use it on an auto harp, but actually use the strings of the piano. Okay. Try with but it's hard to get. It's hard to get. Yeah. Well, it's hard to get it to bounce or something.
Hey guys, let me try something.
Can't really do it with a pick like you would with a guitar.
Let me try these.
Yeah.
You want to get like a dulcimer sound out
Yeah.
of it. Something like this, maybe.
You were saying?
Yeah, it's probably the most interesting song yet that I think we've done so far making this record. It has a lot of cool sounds and textures that I enjoyed, like programming and producing as well as playing on.
Yeah, there you go.
Basically, what we try to do with this song is to, with anything when you're recording, I think you naturally will look at conventional instruments like a guitar and drums and try to think of ways that you can use them in a new creative way that maybe you haven't heard yet. So we did a lot of cool things with the drums, of just like kind of creating patterns with the drums and the shakers that are unconventional for a drummer to normally do. You normally think much broader and trying to fill up the sound with cymbals and all this other stuff. Well, we really kind of broke things down on this track and tried to loop things in a certain way, especially with the drums. So you hear them, but they sound kind of incomplete because they're kind of a piece of the puzzle.
So for the drums, we used a 1970s Slingerland kit, and we put bandanas over top of the drum heads just to deaden the sound and make it a tighter, punchier sound. That way, it's a very minimalistic approach in what we're playing. So we wanted that tight groove to sit right underneath the rest of the song. Very little cymbal work. So we just wanted to provide a solid groove to carry the song.
And so we kind of had to look around the studio and figure out like what things should we use. And so we found ourselves using like our xylophone and kind of layering that and tapping on piano strings and using guitars. You know, the acoustic guitar is really a percussive instrument. And I don't know, I kind of get into the songs like that. It really makes things interesting, especially when you're sitting in a studio and you have all of this stuff, all of the tools that you can use, maybe in the traditional way, to figure out ways to use them in different, you know, unconventional ways.
You got some sick pedals, dude.
And a lot of the lyrics in this song talk about, you know, all heaven sings and round me rings the music and the harmony of God. And so we really tried to capture a harmonization of what the lyric was saying along with the music kind of expressing itself in a way that was singing along with the lyric. And so in that sense, there were certain things like you can hear in the first bit of the song, all heaven sings and round me rings the music and the harmony of God. And this like guitar sound kind of comes in, and it's a bunch of looped kind of guitar notes put together. And there's this little like sound that was just when we were rehearsing, and one of the guys hit the B3, and it just sounded great. And it doesn't happen at all again throughout the song, but I think some of the best people that work in the studio learn to try to catch things as they're happening.
I've been doing on guitars for this album. Thinking more rhythmically outside the box, sort of kind of like a drummer hitting a guitar more of the times. Just instead of like a consistent strum in a lot of places, just finding that spot where you fit in, where you can just add a little color for a moment and bring it back off.
This song had kind of we were kind of going for like an alternative avant-garde kind of approach to it, kind of a non-traditional kind of sound. So as a guitar player, I like to approach things kind of off skew of what the traditional sound might be. And that's kind of what came up out of it.
Almost, man. So close. Everything else is good. Now just that. To your name, glory to your name. Sing it through once just by yourself.
Okay.
Before we start.
Yeah.
Unafraid.
Well, just give me the click, and I'll just sing it or what? Yeah.
You got to record with people that you feel like are family, are community. It's hard when you're walking in and you're just getting to know people and not having that warm sense of community and trying to create the best thing for the song.
I haven't seen the not
A lot of the songs sonically came together real late at night one night, and we were all in the control room, and some of my favorite little textures are Kevin, who's playing the fretless bass, just doing that little slide, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, and just that little texture is one of my favorite moments in the song, and it really helps set the mood for the chorus. Some of the best things about recording here at the Old Bear is these guys are already a really cohesive unit, that they know what they're doing here, they know this space, they feel comfortable, and that makes them work really well together as a team.
Helps that Weston Skaggs, as a writer and a singer-songwriter, was open to trying new things, and he was open to kind of hearing his songs reworked. So there was a lot of mistakes that happened kind of in this track, especially, that we ended up keeping, that you, if you put on your headphones, would catch them, that you probably wouldn't catch them if you're just listening to them in your car. I love the idea that we bury things in the mix of records to catch for somebody listening to the record 30 years down the line. That maybe, I love the idea that you can go back to a record and a track and find something new that you unearth something that maybe you didn't catch before. There's a to bring, like, make sure you really hit the to bring glory to, because you go unafraid Make sure you don't slide on that. To bring glory to
every single blade of grass, in every shard of painted glass we see the colors of your love. Our one refrain, to bring glory to your name. Your people sing to bring glory to your name.
Mic we used on Weston's vocals was a tube microphone, and we thought that it would just kind of match his vocals and the kind of sound we were going for. It's a really warm microphone, has a pretty nice, frequency response that just kind of complemented his voice, so that's what we used.
Human eyes.
So we use the rack stuff here at Old Bear, so we have a mix of like in-the-box plugins and rack gear, so we used the Warm Audio 1176 clone, and it did the trick for that, so we got a good sound at using that.
I can reach the borders of your
What was great about my experience was we really took time to build these songs and pour heart into them, pray over them, and grow with them, so that they had been alive for months before we kind of cemented them in the studio here.
glory to your name. Our one refrain, to bring glory to your
I think in this day and age it's important to make records that not only your community will resonate with, your friends, but that people across the country can hear things and go, man, I wonder how they did that or how they got that sound. So this kind of gives you a little bit of a backdoor approach to this track.
shake our souls. Don't let us rest until we're singing glory. Singing glory.
The Old Bear is in the Harvester Warehouse in Batavia, and it's this cool, huge, I don't know how old, 100-year-old warehouse in Batavia. There's vibe for days in this place. And so the building itself provides a lot of cool sounds that we used in the record, a lot of space, and provided a lot of room to define some of these songs. But in it, they have a lot of cool vintage instruments, vintage amplifiers, that Hammond B3 organ with classic Leslie cabinet is a huge part of this record, and you can't beat the real thing. A lot of people can digitally reproduce something very similar to some of these sounds, but being able to actually play an old xylophone, to play a B3 organ with the amp right there, to play these old Rhodes and things like that makes a lot of difference in making the music real and tangible and imperfect at times, but in a good way.